Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. Back out here in the garage working on the Caddy again. Have my son working on the rain gutter up there. This little tab has to be cut off that he's cutting off right there to sit down on there flush. When the hood comes down, they have this little hook right here, and then this, well, hook and eye, basically. Hook, eye, it comes down, and the hood kind of comes down and cantilevers into this. So this has, or that has to be cut out so that can sit down all the way. That, and I want to clean all this crap and crud out of there. And I picked up some semi-gloss Pour 15 that I'm going to paint this whole rain tray with in there. Just the more and more I look at this truck, the more and more issues that I find. I guess not issues. I mean, the truck's about 39 years old. So, I mean, all in all, for a 39-year-old truck, I'm elated on the condition. I was under it yesterday, day before, can't remember which. I'm sorry, days kind of all run together. But anyway, I noticed on the driver's side down there, I kept seeing just a little bit of blue, and I noticed, I couldn't figure out what it was, but come to find out, the floor pan has been replaced in a small little section from about here to about here. So, and then only about halfway over into what would be basically the tunnel. The exhaust travels back and in the tunnel. Exhaust, I got kind of a neat idea. Not gonna do a stack. I found something online, but it's like 200 bucks. So I don't know if I really want to spend 200 bucks on it when I possibly can make it. It's pretty neat though. I'm still on the fence. But anyway, I picked up some Pour 15, and I'm gonna be painting. This is some pretty nice stuff. When you're using it, you do not want to get it on you. It will not come off. This actually bonds to rust and prevents it and stops it. So the underside inside the truck of this here is all in pretty good shape. But you know, pushing on this, some of this is getting weak. So I want to get all this crap and crud cleaned out of there and get this painted, get the rain tray in there. And what it actually works is, as that water collects in the center, runs off, there's a little hole right here where it drains out of and down to the floor ground there. And then I'm going to assume the same thing on the other side, possibly if you could find it, but maybe not. Yep, it's actually right there. If you can see my finger back in there, it collects and drains to that side. There's some stuff laying in there, I really don't know what it is. And then there's also, here's a glow plug that was laying in there. We'll save that. I don't know if it works, but we'll save it just in case. Probably, well, you know what? No, I'm gonna save it. Just because it's out, I know what they look like, and just in case we would need one, I have one. I pulled the radiator reservoir out of the way, just trying to figure out some wiring. It's got a couple of different harnesses. It has the engine harness, it has the chassis harness, and I just was in the truck trying to figure out why the blower motor wasn't working, and I took my test light and was checking some things, and I'm going to assume that this is my power wire, this black with the red, and then these two yellow with black, or three, the white and the yellow with black traces, is the speeds that go out to the fan itself. Just basically, as you see, it goes on top of that. I guess you'd call it a resistor, I'm not certain. Wiring is not my forte. I'll be the first to admit it. As far as, I guess, take the truck and rewire it. That's just not my thing. It's not my forte. Now, if I had a brand new harness, yeah, I can do that. But to go through and rewire the whole truck one wire at a time, I can't do that. I'm not your man for it. I don't know how to do it. I would definitely need help doing that. So I'm going to try and source a wiring harness for it, just because of the sorry. I find some things just like this wire here. I saw this wire underneath the dash and I was trying to figure out what it was, but I know what it is now. It's for the electric pump over here. So now I know what this red wire is underneath inside that's coming out the one radiator line. So sorry, we're trying to stay out of each other's way. He's working on getting that rain tray installed, just basically mocked in there. And that way we can start cleaning and get that all painted out. Well, you got, Jonah, you got to start on one end and then work your way down there. So start like down here. If you can get it started, like this end started, okay, right? And then just keep pushing back and working your way down. Anyway, just trying to show him, teach him how to do some things, and have him become as mechanically inclined and better than I am. Or, you know, do the best job that I can. Anyway, going back, I find wires and stuff underneath the dash and just trying to figure out what they are. This has a real funky fuse body in it, or fuse block in it, and I would like to actually do some different things and change some things up. That's the fuse panel that's in it. They're like little tubes, and then that's your fusible link right there. If that little brass burns, however many watts this is, then it's bad. There is some over in the glove compartment, but for the most part, yeah. And you know, that's what it is. So just trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how things work. Just like this right here, I'm not certain what this is. This is a red wire with a yellow trace that somebody has spliced into and put this fuse in there and then spliced into these two wires. I'm just not sure on really what things are. And I've got my book in there. I've read it just a little bit and just kind of going from there. There's a relay missing here. I don't know what that relay's for. So I need to grab my book and figure out what some of this stuff is. So anyway, that's where I'm at with everything. This is that wire I was talking about out there underneath the hood. And it's actually must be wired in. This is a black with a yellow trace. That's wired into the ignition. So when key on, that electric pump out there to help, that Mr. Gassick electric diesel pump to help the injection pump starts running. So one other thing that I saw up in here too is, if you look right there, there's a bunch of those little crowns screwed all over the body. And what that actually is, those are chassis grounds for different things on the vehicle. I've found about 5 or 6 of those spade connectors like that for different chassis grounds. I thought that was a pretty ingenious little setup that Volkswagen's done. I don't know if they still do it, but I thought that was pretty cool. So right now I just want to get all this rain tray swept out and cleaned out as he works on the rain gutter still. We did get it fit. Now we just got to trim along that edge for the weather stripping here. It'll sit down on this edge, and then that gets clipped on all the way across, pushed down on for to seal on the hood right through here. So anyway, get a sweeper hooked up and get all this stuff swept out of there. All right, pretty satisfied with how everything is cleaned out of there. Got most of the rust out. Well, it doesn't matter. Got all the scale cleaned off, wiped everything out, cleaned everything out. Just got to get, I'm gonna get this paint stirred up. When you're putting this pour 15 on, it's a good idea just do 2 thin coats instead of 1 thick coat for your best protection. Pretty nice stuff. I picked this up at my local auto parts store. I don't know if like the big box stores like O'Reilly, Advanced, AutoZone, places like that have it. I bought this from Speckman Automotive. Your paint stores in your wherever you're at should have this. This stuff's pretty expensive. Just for this little pint right here is 40 bucks. So it's pretty expensive paint. So we're going to be using it sparingly. What I'm actually thinking about doing for the bottom of the truck is this summer, well not this summer, maybe spring, what have you, I want to lift the truck up, set it up on jack stands and go at the bottom side of it with my pressure washer, get it cleaned off good, and then maybe possibly I might take the truck and have it Z-barred on the bottom, have it just sprayed and undercoated. Not really Z-barred, just have it undercoated. As you guys know, undercoating will hide a multitude of sins, so that'll help hide, you know, that floor pan. I'm gonna see how things look too. We're gonna take the seats out, we're gonna rip the carpet out, you know, switch out the carpet. It needs a new dash. We already put the cluster in, but it needs a new dash pad. That's all cracked up and pretty crappy. We'd like to get maybe some new seats, but them seats kind of got a cool shape to them, so may check with Rex upholstery, seat cover, a couple upholstery places here and see about getting these recovered. I don't know, yeah, he's saying Sparko, but you know, who's footing the bill? Anyway, don't really know, we got an idea on color, but not really going to disclose that yet. And also on wheels, we kind of have those picked out, but I kind of want to get the air ride and get it lowered. I don't know, I would like to lower it and put it on air ride, but since it's an everyday driver for him, I just don't know if it's going to be feasible. So it may just stay the way that it is. I don't know yet. We're just going to kind of play it by ear and kind of go at that. So right now I'm just going to get that paint mixed up, get that painted. Alright, we got that all painted up. I think it turned out pretty good. That is the semi-gloss, although I do see one spot right there on top of the wiper motor assembly there. Should get that painted. I didn't paint anything as far as the blower motor, and as I was messing around, the blower motor does work. That is a resistor, so each one of those is a different fan speed. This one here being high, medium, and low. You probably prominent, you can hear high running. So that tells me that, and what I'm using here is just my jumper lead for my pump solenoid if the electrical messes up. I just keep that plugged in, or keep that gator clipped right there to the battery handle. Been messing with it, so I do have a tender on it for tonight. But that tells me that that motor is good, so as soon as this is all dry, the paint is good and cured, and that's 2 coats there. We can put the rain shield in, or the rain tray in, which is back here in the back of the truck, and then put the weather stripping on the front and get it buttoned up. So just wanted to show you how it did turn out. That is some pretty nice stuff. Like I said, I really like that pour 15. You can thin it and put it through a gun if you so choose. You can buy it in the gallon, but I can imagine, you know, that little can back there, right there is 40 bucks. So I've never priced it in a gallon before. Actually, I think my father-in-law, if I remember right, several years ago, I did a 52 Chevy truck for him, and we did the whole frame in the semi-gloss pour 15, and he bought a gallon of it, and I imagine that was pretty salty. I just don't remember how much it was. But anyway, just wanted to show you that, and that's pretty much going to do it for tonight. So if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so. I hope to be back tomorrow with another video. My wife and I are going to be going over to Menards to get a new door, shower surround, and bathtub for just some work in the house. She's telling me that she wants me to get some work done in the house before I start mowing again. That way her stuff gets done. Anyway, I don't blame her, because once that summer starts, as you guys know, it is so hard for me to get uploaded. It's hard for me to get uploaded anytime, but I come back and see you guys. I'm glad that you come back and see me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And one thing I forgot to mention, we are in the home stretch. We have started the countdown. We are at 908 family members strong and on our way to 1,000. So we are almost there. So this makes me pretty happy and pretty stoked about it. If you guys don't mind, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already done so, and share the page with your friends. Tell them I'm here, tell them I'm not going anywhere, and we're having a good time. We'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye.